My name is Chase Baker. I am the defensive line coach for the Barcelona Dragons. And I started my playing career at Rockland High School in Northern California. Had some great coaches that helped me along, and despite some injuries, I ended up getting a scholarship to Boise State and had a really great experience out there. Ended up starting for 3 years and had some amazing coaches to learn from, Coach Peterson, Coach Kwiatkowski, Harson. We had some great guys that have been head coaches, lots of experience and done some amazing things. So very grateful for my time there. We went on, won 50 games, lost 3. So one of the most successful programs during our era. And then following my career there, I had the chance to go undrafted, went to the Vikings, and was able to stick around the Vikings for a couple years. And so after 2 years, and then on my 3rd year, ended up hurting myself. And you know, the way most guys go out, injury takes them out. But very grateful for my time in the NFL and loved the experience. Following my playing career, I actually looked at a couple different options, but immediately jumped into scouting. I got some internships with the 49ers, went back to the Vikings and did some scouting opportunities, and loved that side of things. But I continued to fall back to the on-the-field activities. Went back and coached at my high school, coached at a small high school in Texas at St. Mark's, and it slowly built from there. Did stuff with the Cowboys youth programs, and then a couple years ago I signed up and went with a startup league called the FCF. And then last year I ended up hooking up with Bart and decided to make the journey out to Spain and come coach for the Dragons. With the staff this year, I've loved watching it come together, and I haven't met most of the guys. That's going to happen real soon, but I can say that seeing the guys that are signed, I think there's a wide variety of experience, and I think there's strength in diversity. So when you got guys from different programs, different levels, I think that's going to make an awesome, coaches room where we start discussing those game plans. There's going to be some great ideas flowing, and I think that what ties everybody together is everybody there is developers. That they know how to develop players and get them to where that they can operate at a high level within our system. So I think that diversity and the fact that we're able to shape these guys, I think that's going to be a great thing for the staff. So our defensive line, we're going to definitely have some new faces this year, but I expect the same thing. I teach these guys violence, discipline, and we go through the fundamentals. But I think with Darius coming in, he's going to be an immediate playmaker for us. And then outside of that, we have some guys coming back. Some of our interior guys, and then some of the new guys. There's just a lot of, I'll say, explosiveness. I really like what we found in some of these combines, what we've seen on some of the other teams within Spain, and we're going to have some unique playmakers out there. And so it might be some different faces, but expect a very aggressive defensive line, and they're going to get after it. The new guys that are coming in, I see, a high level. I think, as the Dragons have come along, it's shown the fact that in order to play at this, professional level within Europe, if you're going to compete with the rest of Europe, you have to do certain things. You have to be that professional model. You have to take care of your body. You have to, get in the weight room and throw some weight around, and you have to prepare yourself for what's needed. And I think Spain as a whole has really stepped up for that. And so, like I said, there's going to be some guys that come into this onto this team that are definitely explosive and fit the mold of what we need. Now we just got to get them ready to play within our system. The objective is always the same for the D-line, man. It's violence. Violence in everything we do. Violent hands, violent strike, right? Violent shed, violent finish. We want to do everything with violence, being aggressive. We want to play on their side of the line. And then for me, it's trying to do so in a very technically sound way, making sure that the fundamentals are there and we put them in a position where they can succeed on any play and any look that we get. So, but yeah, it's always about violence. Football is one in the trenches. It dictates how a play is going to go, how the drive is going to go, how the game's going to go. If on a play, the offensive line is able to push the defensive line around and they get 7-8 yards on a play, it opens up a playbook and it makes it very easy for the offensive coordinator. Whereas on the reverse side, if the D-line is able to shut things down, they're able to get some pushback and we get into a 2nd 10. Now we close off most of their playbook, and it allows us to kind of not guess, but we're able to deduce what's going to happen, and it makes us a little more dangerous, a little more quicker. And so, you know, that dictates how the drive's going to go and how the game's going to go. So absolutely, every game, every play is won in the trenches. Seeing the growth of the league and the new teams popping up around Europe, it's awesome, and it's a great sign for you know, American football in Europe. And as we go into some of these games where these teams haven't played yet, so you don't know what we're going to look, I think that's just the time where we continue to focus on us. Obviously, as coaches, it's our job to prepare them for anything they might see, and you know, as we get in games, the coaches will need to make some of those adjustments based on what a new team is giving us. But for the most part, it's a focus on us, making sure we understand our assignment, making sure we know what our jobs are for each player on the field, and yeah, just making sure they understand what their responsibilities are. And then once they come out and they start rolling, we'll adjust. And yeah, but it's always about us. It's been an honor to be the head coach for the Dragons Academy and being able to take up this first group of guys. And I've tried to kind of develop a system that's very college-like, you know, and so our focus has been developing their bodies, you know, getting them in the weight room and teaching them how to move correctly, teaching them the movement patterns that they're going to need to be successful on the field, body control stuff. And so it's been really cool to see the passion and the desire as I you know, I've shown them what they needed to do. They've met the challenges head on, and they're more than willing to put in the work, and I think that's amazing. So we're doing, you know, 6 a.m. workouts, we're getting after it in the weight room, and then we come out in the afternoon and we hit some field sessions. We go over speed training, you know, acceleration, deceleration, plyometrics. But again, you know, football is going to be football. We have to prepare their body. We have to put on that muscle, that armor that's going to protect them as they continue to develop in the game of football. And then mentally, I want to help them prepare for, you know, it's a very mental game, and you have to be mentally strong to play. And I think these young guys have done a great job of stepping up, and hopefully they've learned some things, and we've got them ready to go at a very high level within Spain. But it's been an amazing experience.